Our summer is coming to a quick close, but I'm still leaning to all the summery flavors while I can. And so today's appetizer, I am using these heirloom tomatoes as my inspiration, and I'm gonna turn them into a tomato tart. I'm using all my family's favorite ingredients essentially and throwing them in the tart, and that is some Dijon mustard as well as some gruyere. And for the dough, I added some herbe de Provence. This dough is super quick to whip together. I just threw all the ingredients into a food processor, and all it takes is flour, butter, and ice water. And so I let that sit for a little bit, and on a floured surface, I'm essentially gonna roll out the dough. And I think this makes enough for two, so I'm just gonna cut that in half approximately, and I'll put the other one to the side, and I'm just gonna roll this out and then transfer it into this tart pan. Transferred this over, and this dough is quite delicate, but the beauty of it is that I will have some excess on the sides, and so I can just fill in that excess in the parts that I didn't quite make it over the top like I was supposed to. So I'm just gonna like I said, remove that excess, and I am just going to put it right there. This does not have to look perfect. Also, I did not even butter the pan because there is enough butter in here that you do not need any extra butter. So I used some of that excess dough that I trimmed off the top, and I filled it into the gaps, and it looks very rustic looking, which is the look I'm going for. So we're now ready to put just a base layer here. And so I'm just gonna take some Dijon mustard and just kind of eyeball it in terms of how much I ended up using. And I am just gonna brush it over the top, or brush over the base of this tart. And that was about 2 spoons full. And then from there, I'm just going to sprinkle it with a little bit of Gruyere. And then I took these heirloom tomatoes, and I did put them on a paper towel lined sheet to drain out, to just take up, absorb some of the moisture. And I'm just going to place those over the top. And then I grab these tiny little green ones just to add a little bit extra pop of color. One of the reasons I love to eat and cook seasonally is because I can take something like an heirloom tomato, combine it with some of my family's favorite ingredients, put it all on a buttery crust, and there we have our Friday afternoon appetizer. With that, my husband and I are gonna enjoy some chilled rosé on one of the last weekends of summer, and we are now ready to ease into the long weekend. Cheers.